Hello, welcome to this week's hashtag Toe-to-Toe. As always, we're joined by Spencer Fearon.
Nice.
Good to see you. And this week, our special guest is Anthony Crolla, wearing a furry jacket. A bit cold down here, is it, Anthony, for you?
Yeah, it's
chilly.
The private jet in outside. Don't worry.
He's got the goggles and everything. He's got the goggles.
Yep,
Yeah,
a lot.
Love that, love that. Fresh off your win over Dow Jordan the other week. Good for you. How did it go for you?
Yeah, it went exactly how we thought it would go. At the very start of camp, when the fight first got made, Joe Gallagher said this fight's going to be a little bit similar to, or very similar to sort of the Gavin Rees fight, fought at a real high tempo. You're going to have to throw punches and punches, and you're in for 12 hard rounds, and that's exactly how it went. So I wasn't surprised at all. I think Dow's defence was a little better than I thought. It was harder to hit clean, but no, it went every bit as expected. I sort of knew a few minutes in, I remember landing a good shot, and you just know if he's not going anywhere tonight, he'll be here all night. And I think if the bell hadn't gone, he'd probably still be coming at me now.
Well, that win technically means you're front runner to fight Lomachenko, of course.
Yes.
He fights Pedraza on December the 8th.
Yep.
What's the situation? A lot of people want to know,
yeah.
will you fight him? Do you want to fight him?
Of course I want to fight him. I'd love to fight him, and that's not, listen, all right, yeah. The payday, yeah, it would be nice, but I'm genuinely, I'm fighting one of the best fighters on the planet, or I would be fighting one of the best fighters on the planet. And I won't be going in there just to share the ring with him. And some people, again, will have their opinions, but I go in there with a belief I can pull off a massive upset. And we'll see. We'll know a lot more in the next month. He's got to fight Pedraza on December the 8th. He was a very good fighter, but you expect Lomachenko to come through. And we'll find out a lot more after that.
It's understandable, isn't it? He wants to go up against the best, and he wants to test himself. It's a fight he can't say no to, Spencer, surely.
1,000,000%, Anna, because why would you want to be fighting, and he's been a world champion, so he knows the highs or the glories, why would you not want to pit yourself against the best? Now, the thing is this, or the question is this, is like, Lomachenko is pound for pound the best fighter in the whole wide world. And you want to go up against him, you should be commended because you're relishing the challenge. Why wouldn't you want to pit yourself against the best? Well, I salute you, my friend.
Thank you, Spencer, thank you. What kind of fight would I be if I say, do you know what, hopefully he'll vacate, I'll get a vacant title shot, a bit of a much easier fight. That's not the way to do things, is it? So hopefully the fight can happen.
So that's the fight you want. Ronan wants to know, who do you want to fight if you can't secure that clash with Lomachenko?
Honestly, whoever I can fight to get a world title shot. I've just had a final eliminator last time out, and whoever it may be, there's some great fights to be made in the lightweight division, and I'm open to any of them, really.
Well, one of which, a name that gets banded around a lot, is
Yes.
Luke Campbell. Danny wants to know, personally, I think you should fight Luke Campbell. Great domestic fight. What's your thoughts on that?
You know, I agree with Danny. I think it's a great domestic fight, and it'd be even better if he could make it for a world title. I'm not sure what the situation is with Luke. I know he's mandatory for the WBC, and then I'm sure I'll be mandatory for the WBA, so I'm not sure how it works. I mean, it'd be brilliant if we fight for a world title that's on the line, but we're both cool with the fight happening, and I think it'd be a great fight. And like I say, there's not much better than a world title with two British lads, and it's a good fight.
And your record shows you that you're comfortable when you fight southpaws.
Yes,
You are very comfortable.
Stylistically, how do you think it would work?
It will work really well, because if we see like on the things that Luke Campbell's bringing to the table now, especially now that Luke's working with Shane McGuigan, he's got hands. He's got really good hands.
Yes.
And like, you like to throw punches in bunches, but the thing that you do really, really smart, you like to tuck up and you edge your way in on the inside to throw those little uppercuts, and you dig downstairs to the body. And because he's a southpaw, you'll be banging him on his lead shot with your left hook. This makes this a very, very juicy fight, but a very, very juicy fight. But because of Luke Campbell's range and his speed, I think that could give you problems. But you get inside, then we don't know what's going to happen.
No, one thing I really rate about Luke is, I'll be honest, when he won the Olympic gold, which is the very,
against John Nevin in 2012.
Back in 2012, I thought, what a brilliant amateur, and I thought, surely you can't do that as a professional, because back then it was almost like a two-pick, just poking and poking. And
fencing.
He's took fencing, and he's took time out, and he's built himself into a top professional. He's gone up a few weights, and I have massive respect for him doing that. So, yeah, like I say, I'm not sure what his situation is with the WBC, but
Watch this space.
Yeah, watch this space next year, whatever. At some point, we'll see what happens.
Well, from one Anthony to another, looking to secure a big fight, like what I did there. Mac D wants to know, if Anthony Joshua was to face Vladimir Klitschko again in April, would it be a backward step? I mean, there's lots of rumours about this one flying around.
I believe it would be. I know as someone as great as Vladimir Klitschko has been, it's been a few years now, so it would have been a few years since the first fight, which was, you know, an amazing fight. He coming in great shape. It was a great Klitschko we've seen that night, but
you think it's done?
I think that's done, and I think there's more worthy challengers out there. So I do believe it'd be a backward step. Obviously, there's a big fight going on next month, and that's a fight we're about to see. We've got two big fights. We've got Dillian White there, as well. And for me, listen, I think if he fights, it's more of a show. It's more of they'll come a bit of a story like that, but I think there's a lot more worthy challengers.
Do you agree, Spencer?
Totally. It should be part. You know what? Vladimir Klitschko never ever really got the respect when he was the world champ, because we thought his style was boring. We thought his style, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we have to realise that his style was actually brilliant, right? That's what it was. The man was actually genius. Now, I would say, why 2 years out? If that happened in April, that'd be 2 years since you last fought him. You haven't done anything in between that time. And you don't need a penny. You're quite very, very wealthy, right?
Yes.
No, forget about this. There's so many good guys out there. Dillian White, Derek Chisora, the winner of that. If they got a shot, that'd be great. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. There's other fights out there that we're interested in.
Another name, Jarrell Miller. Chris wants to know, does Jarrell Miller have to beat White or Chisora before he can be considered to challenge AJ?
Yes, 100%. He was, there's something missing in Jarrell Miller, and it's because he talks so much. He talks so much, so you expect him to say
more.
Right, you get so hyped. I've seen you interviewed him when you've been around. You get hyped because he's a very, very good talker, right? And don't get twisted. He can box. He can fight. He can fight. Right, but there's levels to this, and like his win on the weekend didn't really show me anything. So he needs to fight a bigger name.
Solid win, don't we? Yeah.
Thank you very much.
A top contender.
What do you think?
I'm with Spencer there, and I think there's a lot to like about him, and he's got what I've seen at times. He's got a good engine as well for a big guy. But we've got to see him. A top 10 win, and I don't believe has he really had that yet.
No, he hasn't.
And before staking his claim for a shot at a world title.
Well, someone who is fighting this weekend in Monaco is, of course, Kal Yafai. Jack wants to know, does Kal Yafai deserve a big unification fight in 2019? That's what he wants, isn't it?
Yes, I believe he does. I know that's what he wants, and I rate Kal very highly. I think what the Yafai family's done is brilliant for boxing. Him, Gamal, and it's the youngest one calling out. He could be the best of the lot. Went to the Olympics unexpectedly. Great boxing family, and I like Kal a lot. Very well balanced, hits hard at the weight. And I like him a lot, and I think he deserves world champion. He's defending. I think he deserves those big fights.
Galal's the youngest.
Galal.
It's like a test, isn't it?
Yeah.
He lets his boxing do the talking, doesn't he?
He does let his boxing do the talking. He's got very, very good hands, and he's studious to the game. He studies a lot of Evander Holyfield, and you can see it on how he bounces and throws these shots.
Yeah.
He should fight the best. The best right now is Wang Jik, who beat twice Roman Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Roman Gonzalez was rated at the time the best pound for pound fighter in the world, and this guy Wang Jik just came along and beat him up twice. And I know Kal Yafai has been watching these guys, and I know he'd want to be up against the best, similar to what you want to go and do. But he's a world champion. Had the unification fight, and you know what? We never know what can happen, but I am so impressed with him. He's a very, very good fighter.
I'm looking forward to seeing him this weekend. Steve wants to say, this is the final question, how much help do you think Adam Booth can give to David Allen? I mean, this week he's put on social media that he's been spending a few days in Adam Booth's gym. How do you think that would work?
I think, obviously, they're probably not two characters you would put together. But I think
not be a bad thing, though.
No, but that's what I was going to get onto. It might work really well, and I was around David Allen. I remember having breakfast with him after the fight last week, and you can see he respects Adam Booth an awful lot, and that might be something that Dave needs.
Miss him with anybody else that he's working with.
And Adam, you only have to look at who he works with, the results he gets, to see what a fantastic trainer he is, and I think it can work. And I hope Dave, if he can dedicate himself and have a proper camp, I do believe Dave Allen has got something, but you just don't want it to carry on this now for the next 12 months, where he's but, you know, not putting the training proper, because at this point, everyone's behind him. Everyone wants him to do it. So if he can come, and I think with his interview after it last fight,
he's so honest.
Yeah, he's dead. He's too honest, but I think that's why everyone likes him. And I really believe, you know, I think Dave, he never thinks he's going to be a world beater out like that, but he mentioned it.
He's
very near a British title
that,
shot. Yeah, he's very near a British title shot. If you win that, anything can happen from there. Anything can happen from there.
He was very honest in the post-fight interview about his levels of fitness. I mean, we saw it as well in the ring. Made no secrets of that. Do you think that's his main area of concern for him?
No, I don't think it's actually the fitness. I think it's the discipline, because fitness comes from discipline. He's just not been disciplined in those areas. I think maybe he listened to last week's podcast when Josh Kelly was bigging him up as well, and I think Adam Booth would be the right guy, not for the physical side of it, but for the psychological side of it. He's Adam is very, very good. Adam Booth could be that guy that's going to give you that cuddle when you need it, or he's going to say, listen, this is what we're working on. And I think just for that set regime of discipline, then, I think that'd be a very, very good move if he can stick it out, because Adam Booth is he's authoritarian figure. And if Dave can hang with that, then I think we're going to see a very, very good Dave Allen.
Well, fingers crossed it works out.
Yeah, my fingers are crossed for him.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
You'll be with us on the podcast, which, don't forget, you can all download on iTunes.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.